Hello, hello everybody. My name is Melissa from stampwithmelissa.com and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today I'm so excited to show this fun card for you, to show you how to make it. But it's kind of a little bit, it's got a little of a secret. So this you can see is a graduation card, and I use that beautiful Simply Elegant Designer Series paper, which you can also see on that envelope flap there. But when you open it up, it's actually got a little pocket in it that could fit some money or like a gift card. So there's a, an old Starbucks gift card to show you there. But that would fit inside of it, so you could give this as a great graduation gift. Or you could change it up and make it for like a wedding or birthday or whatever you want. So today I'm really excited to share with you how to make this awesome card. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I've got a piece of thick basic white cardstock here. This is a full sheet, so it's 8.5 inches by 11 inches. And I'm going to bring my trimmer in, and I'm going to cut this. So this is the shorter end. That's what I'm going to put up at the top. And I'm going to cut it at 5.5 inches. So the piece will measure 5.5 by 11. So then what I want to do is I want to get rid of that cutting blade there. We're going to go ahead and extend the arm on the trimmer. Just like that. I'll scoot it over and make sure we're in frame there. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this card at a couple of different places. So the first spot is 4 1/4. And then we're going to score it at 8.5 inches, which is right there. And so you can see if I folded this in half right here, you'd have a normal size card, okay? So then we've got this big flap here, and I'm actually going to line it up at the 1 inch mark on this side. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that off because it's just a little bit too long, so I didn't want that in my card. But there's that. Whoops. There we go. And then we need to cut our designer series paper. So I am using the Simply Elegant paper, and I'll show you the pattern in just a second. Alright, so we're going to use this, and you can see this is beautiful floral. Here's the other side, and I've got this cut to 12 inches by 6 inches. It's just a half pack of our designer series paper of that Simply Elegant, and we're going to go ahead and make several measurements. Or, I'm sorry, several cuts. Different measurements. I'm going to give you all those measurements now. So the first one is we're going to go ahead and go right to the 4 inch, and we'll cut that, and then we're going to do another one at 4 inches, just like that. And then we're going to take this last one here, and again I'm going to line it up on this side at 1.5, which is all the way to the gray part there. Okay, just like that. Now this piece I'm going to save for my envelope, and then all of these we can go ahead and trim down. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4, and that'll be for the inside. And then we'll cut this one at 5 1/4. And that can be for the outside, and then we'll cut one more at 5 1/4, and this is going to be for the inside of the card as well. So we've got 2 pieces at 4 by 5 1/4 and 1 piece at 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then that scrap piece we had there will go on the envelope flap. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab this, and I will grab my bone folder. And we're going to go ahead and give some good creases here. And then this piece that's creased right here will actually fold up. And that's what creates that fun little pocket to hold the money or the gift card or whatever you want to give there. So kind of cool there. So we'll go ahead and start adhering some things down. So I have my seal adhesive. And I love my seal adhesive. And we're going to go ahead and just apply that. And this piece is going to go on the front of the card. So there we go, and then this is the front here, and I know it's so shiny, so hopefully I'm not blinding anyone. There we go. Beautiful, and this is going to be for my neighbor, but don't tell her. She is having a grad party in a couple of weeks, so this is going to be for her. Alright, so now I'm putting some adhesive on the back of that side, and we're going to go ahead and line the inside of the card here with this. Just like that. And then we've got that last piece right here that needs some of the paper. And we want to make sure that when it's folded, because this is a little bit directional, like we can tell that that's upside down, we want it to be here, right? So I'll just hold it on there while I flip that. And then we'll go ahead and add some adhesive on the back of this piece, and I'm going to be pretty generous because I don't want it to fall off. So just like that, and then we're going to go ahead, and this one is actually going to cover the whole piece. So I'm going to use my fingers to help guide it, just like that. And oh my goodness, I made a mistake. Can you see how that doesn't go all the way to the end? So here's what we're going to do. We are going to use this piece, and look at that, it lines up, and because that should have been cut at 1.5, or I'm sorry, 1.5 by 5.5, and I'll have that correct on my blog post, and the link to that is down in the description box below. That was totally my bad, but look at there, we'll fix it. So we'll just butt that up there. I used my liquid glue to do that. And you know what's funny is I actually made that mistake on my first card too, which you can't even really notice, but it's right here. I made that same exact mistake, and so I like triple checked my measurements and I was still off, but that's okay because it's the sentiment that counts, right? So then we're gonna go ahead and just trim off the rest of this piece here. Like that. There we go. Okay, now before we go ahead and adhere anything, I am using my 1-inch circle punch. Now Stampin' Up! Does not sell these anymore, sadly, so use whatever you can. If you already have a circle punch, that's great. If you have a die you'd like to use, that's great too, but I'm just gonna do a little notch here. And that's just so it's a little bit easier to get the money in and out. So we'll go right there and punch that. So you can see that's really cute. And we'll make it a little bit easier there. All right, so now I'm going to bring in my tear-in tape, and you could still use your seal if you wanted to, but I'm going to use my tear-in tape because I want to make sure that this fold doesn't go anywhere. I want it to stay really, really stuck. So we are going to put adhesive, this tear-in tape, just on the edges. You can see I got a little schmutz here. We'll lay that down. So I'm just putting it on. Oh my goodness. I am having issues today. Oh my word. Of course, because I'm videotaping, I'm gonna have a couple of issues, but it's okay. All right, so I'm just putting it on the edge because, like I said, I want that middle to be open so that the money can slide in and out pretty easily. And that's also why we added that notch. All right, let's see. There we go. Then we'll go ahead and fold this up. And I'm gonna use my bone folder again just to press down. Make sure everything stays in place like that. Isn't that cute? So then what you could do for writing to your recipient is I am going to cut out a piece of 4 by 5.25 basic white, and then you can write on that, and when you're done, I would adhere it to the top here. So that's what I'm gonna do, but you can see there's the cool card. So we'll go ahead and just burnish that again, and then we will go ahead and decorate because that's always the most fun, right? So I am using the new Create with Friends stamp set, and I'm using the Celebrate, Let's, and You. So let's celebrate you. We're gonna go ahead and use a piece of basic white here, and we are going to emboss this. Now, before I used my gold embossing powder, and I think for this one we should use silver. So let me find my silver here. There we go. And we will go ahead and pull in the Versamark. And then I've got the Celebrate here. And I'm going to put that right down there, like that. And I know you can't see it on camera, but I promise it's there. And we'll just do the Let's. And these guys, I'm going to cut out each word individually, so it doesn't really matter where they go. You can use any pieces that fit. All right, we'll close this up, and then we will open up that silver. And I'm using a plastic spoon here to dump on some of that embossing powder. And we'll do it a couple times here. just like that, and you can see it's there, but not quite as covered as I want it to be, so we'll do one more time, especially on this let's. There we go. There we go. So I'm gonna go heat emboss this and I'll be right back. All right, look how beautiful and shiny those are. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring my trimmer in again and just trim these down, and I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up. All right, now there we go. Isn't that so cool? So we will bring in our card again, and then I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop this up, and we're going to be pretty generous. If you're familiar with my videos, you know I love dimensionals. But this is a really, really fun card, and of course we've got to make things pop up and shine, and I love how that silver looks. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Here, let's pick this guy up here, and I'm actually going to bring in some mini dimensionals because these guys are so tiny. So here we go. So we can use probably 2 minis. And then we're going to take this let's, and I'm going to kind of put it a little cockeyed there just to give it some interest, and then that way if anything else on the card isn't straight, you don't notice as much. So that's my little secret. If you make some things tilted, then people don't know if they're straight. All right, let's get these backings off. There, okay. There we go. And then I'll stick that down here like that. Super, super cute. I've got some embossing powder on here. I'm just wiping off. So cute. Now we just have to make a cute little grad cap. All right, so I am using the tailored tag punch to make my grad cap, and I absolutely love this punch to make grad caps. So I went ahead and punched out a full one, and I'm gonna see, I don't know if I can get it on this piece here, and I'm gonna see, but I want the piece of basic black to line up here. I don't really care if it cuts off here because it'll be hidden behind the grad cap, but I want that piece just to make things a little bit nicer, but I am going to use that as like the bottom here, so it'll go under. But first, we got to go ahead and trim this down, and you can see I already did this for my sample, so I'm just going to offset it a little bit on a Post-it note, and the reason I'm using a Post-it note is because it works as a great handle. Since it's a little bit harder once that item is punched out, it's a little harder to get it back in there to trim it down again. So I'm just lining those corners up so it makes more of a diamond shape. Whoops, that didn't punch all the way, but it's okay because it was just the Post-it. So we'll go ahead and peel that Post-it note off, and you can see there, so now I've got it more of a diamond shape, which is really fun. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use my liquid glue again, and I'm just going to put some liquid glue onto that piece there. And sorry, I cannot remember the grad cap terms, so I can't remember what they call this part. It's probably something like, oh my gosh, I can't even remember. Is this like is one of them the brim? I can't even remember. Okay, so I've got that like that, and we're gonna go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back now. So we'll stick 3 down, or, well, actually, let's see where we want that to go. I want it to sit like that, so yeah, we could fit one more dimensional over here. Like so. Just because we don't want to put a dimensional where it's going to stick down there, because then it would kind of be a little bit funny. But if we stick it like this, that looks pretty cool. All right, and then I've got these guys here, the metallic pearls, and I used gold on my last one, but we are going to use silver this time because silver is our main color. And you can see these silver ones kind of just moved around wherever they wanted to. And I'm just going to stick one right in the middle, just like that. So cute. Okay, so one last thing before we're done is to do the envelope. So I have got one of our basic white envelopes here, and I'm going to use my seal and go ahead and just apply adhesive around here. Now I want to be pretty generous with the amount of adhesive because you want to make sure the flap stays down. And you know what? This side is just too pretty. So before I did the opposite side so it would kind of layer, but this side is just so pretty that we have to use it. So I'm just butting that up to where the flap, where that fold is there. And then we'll go ahead and use our scissors to trim away the excess. I think this just really ties together the whole piece. The card and the envelope look really good together. I usually don't do envelopes, I don't decorate them, but I don't know, there's just something about, you know, about how it looks. And so you can use designer series paper, you could stamp on it, whatever you want to do, but look at how nice that looks. So then when they're paired together, they just look so much better together, don't they? All right, well, so here's my completed card. So you can see there it'll open and you can put your little flap in there or your little money in there, your gift. And I think it's just stunning. I'll bring in the first one too. So just absolutely stunning. So like I said, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in the United States. And so if you're in need of a catalog and you're not already working with a demonstrator, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to pop one in the mail to you. I send them for free, so all you have to do is ask, and I will get that to you. If you liked this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't already. Down in the description box below, you'll find the link to the blog post with this card, or these two cards, I should say. And on that, you will be able to see all the measurements, the correct ones. I'll have this correct on that blog post there. You'll be able to see those measurements as well as photos of the two cards and also the products that I used. So make sure you check that out too. I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.